Hi, it's Mark Griffin here from the beautiful Wanaka Lake in Colorado, one of our favourite walking spots as a family. And I'm taking a little time out today to talk about optimism. I think it's timely, and to me optimism is it's a mindset, but it's also a way of being. It's a combination of hope and confidence. It's us being able to envision an outcome and then being confident enough that we can achieve it. And so with everything going on right now with COVID-19, I wanted to talk about 10 ways that we can start to feel optimistic as we look forward. These 10 ways to feel optimistic will work, hopefully for some of you, for COVID-19, but also other challenges. And it's in reflection of a post I wrote a couple of years ago. I'd been through tons of challenges and they all kind of piled on top of each other. I was feeling overwhelmed, I was feeling lost, I was feeling stuck. And even though all those challenges were still in place, I was able to feel optimistic, and when I reflected on it, it was because of these 10 things. So we'll start with the first one, which is about getting a better perspective on the current reality. The most important part of this first is to understand, reflecting back, was there anything we could have done differently to end up in the current reality that we're in, whatever this particular challenge is? Is there any actions you could have taken that would have been better and maybe changed that outcome? And if so, just take a note of those so you can apply them going forward, so you can be more optimistic about the future. If your current reality has nothing to do with any of the actions that you've taken, then you have to let it go and just live in this reality and make the most of the situation that we're in. Second thing is about improving the clarity as we look forward to both the upside and the downside. There's always two scenarios, a best case and a worst case, and the best case is really important to think about because it gives us hope and helps us increase our perseverance and our drive to work through the challenges. But alongside that, we have to also acknowledge the downside. For me and a number of other people right now, we're in challenging working environments. People have either continued to be employed with reduced salaries, or people have been unemployed, and so there's going to be a worst case and a best case scenario out the end of that, and acknowledging that's going to be important. So the third part related to that is actually what actions can you take to prepare for either a best case or a worst case scenario. People say prepare for the best. People say prepare for the worst and hope for the best, and I like to prepare for both and hope for the best as well, because if you prepare for both, you can make the best even better, and that's a really good reason to feel optimistic. But also by, of course, preparing for the worst, it enables us to soften the landing a little bit should that worst case scenario actually occur. Fourth part's about finding balance in the here and now between the must-do things and the excited to do things. So the must-dos can feel stressful, frustrating, and kind of repetitive, I suppose. And at the moment, some of those must-dos are just pure safety, social distancing, washing our hands, all of the things that we need to do to stay safe, because these must-dos right now are about survival, and we have to survive before we can thrive. So must-dos are super important, and things that we need to continue to focus on every day. But balancing those with some excited to-dos. Now, there might be some exciting things that we can do right now, but there's certainly lots of exciting things that we can look forward to on the back end of this as well. And so thinking about some of those exciting things, what are things you'd be really excited to do once things get back to a new normal? Who would you want to do those with? Write them down, get excited about them. It's something to be optimistic about. 5 is about finding peace with whatever will be, but making sure that we're committing ourselves to be our absolute best between here and there, because there's a lot of uncertainty right now, and when there's uncertainty, there's often things out of our control, and when there's things out of our control, they're things that we need to try to let go of and try to not stress about, because ultimately there's nothing we can do about them anyway. So as the famous spiritual proverb goes, this too will pass, and it will, and that's a reason to be optimistic. Related to that is number 6, which is about getting comfortable owning the space between here and then, and thinking about when there's a lot of uncertainty, often our minds start spinning a web, often negativity, negative thoughts, fear-based things, and they can get kind of out of control and become overwhelming, and actually ultimately negatively affect our expectations and our attitude our behaviour and ultimately the actions and outcomes that we achieve. And so if we notice too many negative thoughts, taking a couple of real deep breaths and trying to visualise those thoughts, even just in a bubble in your head, enables you to create some separation and some space. And even just by doing that, it enables us to separate ourselves away from the negative thoughts and leave more space for positive thoughts. And ultimately, we're in control of what's in our head. We're in control. We have the keys to the gateway, and it's up to us what we let in and what we let out. And so creating that space enables you to push out some negatives and allow in some more positives. And related to that, not just the thoughts, but ultimately then, what are the outcomes you want to achieve, and what are some of the actions that you can take to enable you to get there? Number 7, super simple, just take care of yourself. There's a lot we need to do right now to help take care of other people that may be alone, family, friends, older people that may need some support and some connection. So whatever we can do to support them, whether it be virtually or in other ways, we should. But to take care of others, we also have to take care of ourselves, just basic stuff. And so just asking ourselves some simple questions right now around, am I getting enough sleep? Am I getting enough of the right workouts in? Am I eating enough healthy foods? Am I connecting with enough of the right people, enough of positive people, enough people that make me better, enough people that challenge me, enough people that I can support and contribute to? Are we able to switch off, get some activities that just enable us to get some space? Being at home the whole time, with the family the whole time, trying to work from home, homeschool, everything else can feel a little claustrophobic and overwhelming. So what are some things you can do, even if just for very short periods of time, that enable you to switch off? And if you're lucky enough to have some flow activities, those activities you can just immerse yourself in where you lose track of time and just be one with that activity, then try to squeeze some of those things in as well. So take care of yourself so you can ultimately be in a position to take care of other people as well. Number 8 is about embracing the small wins and also breaking the timeline down into small pieces. It's a little bit uncertain, the timing, whether we're going to be in this situation for another few weeks or another few months. And so breaking down the timeline into seasons that you can control. So what does the next week look like? What are some things you'd like to get done in this next week? And get some of those things done and celebrate those small wins. Even write some of them down, because it's going to enable you to replicate those and repeat those as you go forward. Okay, so we left off at number 9, appropriately, was you're not alone. I was being probably a little too optimistic that this young man would last through 10 minutes. So number 9 is you're not alone. There's obviously a lot of people that are physically alone at the moment. They're in apartments and homes on their own. And those people we have to provide support to, don't we? We have to reach out to them. But if you're alone, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to feel lonely. And I think this is where having the confidence just to reach out to people, reconnect with people, connect with family, connect with friends. I think we've all been doing a lot more of that actually the last few weeks, which has been one of the super positive things that's come out of this. So if you're apprehensive about reconnecting with people, don't let fear get in the way. Don't live in fear. Because fear is just a thought process of something that may or may not happen in the future. It's not here, it's not now. What's here and now is the actions that you can take. And so if you're feeling a little bit lonely, feel free to reach out to people, be confident enough to reach out to people. Right now, people are going to respond back and connect. And it's been a great opportunity to reconnect during this time. And then number 10, do you remember what number 10 is? Number 10 is about not allowing any negative energy to stay in your head. Getting rid of any negative energy from the past. Right now we need all of our focus to be positive, all of our focus to be looking forward, focusing on all the little things that we can do now to get through this process and to create a better future off the end of it. So anything like guilt or shame that you have around things that you should have said or should have done or could have said or could have done differently, if you need to apologise to somebody and be genuine and get that done. Use this as an opportunity to clear the slate on that stuff. And if you've already done that and you're still beating yourself up about it, just forgive yourself. All right, so let's use our energy positively now to make the best of the situation we're in and every step forward so that we can get through this stronger. So they're my top 10 reasons that I think if we adopt those we can feel optimistic. And right now, through this challenge for COVID-19, but any other challenge, hopefully there's some of those 10 things that you can take away or pass on to friends and family. I'll get this video posted up online, and obviously we'd appreciate any comments or feedback from it, and I'll tag in the original article as well from a couple of years ago. So thanks for listening, and stay optimistic. Cheers, bye.